Bitcoin can't seem to stay above 12K. What is wrong with you, Bitcoin? What is wrong with you? When will it happen? Well, maybe soon. Hello Adrian and welcome back to my channel. It is 7:30 p.m. and my time zone is UTC +8. Hope you are all doing well on this beautiful Tuesday, the second day of the week. And we got quite plenty to be discussing about. And but first, let's wish everybody hello. Hi Theodore, hi Darren, hi Zaldi, hi Oladokun. Hope you are doing well. I have been very good, thank you. Hope you have been doing well as well. So before we go into everything, let's take a look on some COVID numbers because, well, we don't usually do that. So why not do it for today? And as we can see, United States are now close to over 5.1 million cases. Brazil has been crossed over 3 million cases, and India over 2.2 million cases. Yeah, that's starting to be really, really big numbers, obviously. Other than that, let's take a look on the global chart. We are very near now to the 20 million cases. Hi Lex, hope you are doing well. And other than that, well, the top 6 countries, the charts still look very, very bad. Nothing good about it. Hi Nikolai, hope you are all doing well. So let's recap and go back into our technical analysis, and let's go for our daily chart. Right, let's go for our daily chart. Hi Manding, hello from Emus, hello from Manila. Anyways, so we were talking about yesterday that touch on the top of the range at around 12,100, 12,200 ish area, near somewhere around there, or this green box basically. That was basically our distribution zone, and I've told you guys already, first step here, second step there, and of course if we would be making a higher high, which is what basically happened, right? We made a higher high on the closing of the prices. As you can see here, we made a higher high here, and we made a lower high, of course, here on the RSI, as you can see, which created our bearish divergence. And of course, what happened after is, of course, a major push towards the downside. Hi Shamir. A major push towards the downside, back to our range on the bottom here. But as you can see here, we have been supporting this level very well as well. So actually, I would consider just putting our green box here right now. It seems to make more sense than where it was up there. But anyways, up there is a very critical point as well, because, well, as you can see right now here, this is where the 10 simple moving average is, and I do want to be very clear. If we start closing below, if we would be starting below, closing below that 10 simple moving average, that would most likely not bode very, very good things for Bitcoin, right? So like I said, we are in this range. We are still, as you can see, this is still a ascending triangle that we are forming. Nothing has been broken or anything just yet, but yeah, if we do start breaking some structures towards the downside, things will not look very, very, very well. So still 2 scenarios that we are looking at, and the scenarios are still exactly the same. Either we break this triangle, of course, towards the upside, where obviously we have the higher probabilities, and if we are looking at the break towards the upside, we can clearly see that the measured move is all the way up to this green box here, around the 14,000 area. And well, the 14,000 area obviously makes sense, because if we are zooming back here, that is basically our previous high that we had here, and that was in 26th of June 2019. So it was more than a year ago. So that's basically the resistance from in the past, right? So that makes perfectly sense. But I also want to be very, very clear that a structure can break 2 ways. A structure, the probabilities is obviously higher that we go breaking towards the upside, but we also could be breaking towards the downside, and you should be very, very clear as that as well. So if we start breaking below that structure, we would be looking at here. all the way back to this green box here, which is at around 9,800. And as you can see, the CN line, the EMA 100 is there, moving up obviously over the days, right? So we would be looking something like this. So around I would say between $9,700 and $9,800. So I just want to be very clear that that structure can break both ways, and I know a lot of people will hate it that that I'm saying such things, because, well, obviously it's much easier to be saying like, yeah, for sure we are going towards 14,000, and if you're right, then everybody is going to be screaming that you called it and you are a genius, and so on and so on. And some people will say that we are not gonna get there, and then other people will be saying, oh, you called it, we didn't get to 14,000, you were wrong, we went to 9,800. Well, as a trader, like I said, you should not be thinking in that way. You should be setting up your levels and your trading and basically move ebb and flow with the movement of the market, rather than trying to basically be an oracle trying to be an oracle and predicting the price. It's all about probabilities, and for me, I just trade from one zone to the other zone. So to be very clear, if we do break up and start closing above this green box here, I do expect continuation, which is still the scenario that I'm looking at. Expectation is not obviously not a very good thing, but yeah, if we do start closing above that 12,200, 12,100 area, most likely continuation towards the 14,000. If we start closing below this green box here, and that is the green box of around 11. Now it is at around 11,200, let's say 11,200. If we are starting to close below 11,200, well, for some people we can be a little bit more lenient, and the leniency would be this this EMA 21 here, which is currently at 11,090. So that would be really the max, right? So if we would be wicking down here and then immediately a super push up, it could be some sort of like a bear trap or something like that, right? So be very careful. To be clear, if we do break below, at this point, I would say 11,100, something like that, closing a daily candle below that, just below the EMA 21, and I would be saying like it's most likely over for the bulls, to be honest. Then I would be seeing a price breaking down towards the EMA 55, which is currently at 10,250. As you can see, most likely a bounce from there. It's always like that, right? Bounce, breaking down, bounce, breaking down, bounce, and then breaking down, but eventually reaching this target of below 10K, around 9,000, between 9,700 to 9,800. So keep that in mind. Just saying, just keep that in mind. Not saying that it's going to be happening, but like I said, you have to be keeping both scenarios into your mind, and not be like a moon boy or a doom boy and just trade the levels basically. So as you know, I am in a trade. I am in a long from 11,350. Basically, I caught this wick here, and my long is still ongoing, and it's going to be still ongoing. And where's my stop loss, right? Because that's basically what we should be always talking about and thinking about when things go wrong. So on the daily chart, there's two things that will be making me close my long. First of all is the 10 simple moving average. If we close a daily candle below the 10 simple moving average, I'm over. I'm done. I'm closing my long, and that'll be it. And I'll be most likely be thinking about shorting scenarios later on the day. Right. On the shorter time frames, we obviously have a little bit more leniency, and there's two ways that that I will be going about it. And first of all, it would be a closure below the EMA 55. So as you can see right now, the EMA 55 is at 11,565 right now. If we close a 4-hour candle below that green line, then I'll be closing my long as well. Right. So that would not be good. And a third trigger that would be making my long close would be just ticking below this price. So no close or anything like that. Just basically, if the price goes below that line, then basically I will be stopping my position as well. And as you can see here, the position at that line is at 11,435.5. So those are the three triggers that are going to be closing, making me close my long at 11,350. So it's quite impossible, obviously, because my entry position is so good that that I will be losing any money, because if one of those three triggers happen, it will be still above my entry price, right? So I will just make a small amount of money, right? But I mean, you know, that's what trading is about. It's all about probabilities than anything else. But like I said, you always must have a plan in case of things go wrong. And that's just basically, I just gave you the overview of the three triggers that that is basically going to be making me close my long, right? So I hope everybody is clear on that. Other than that, today has been, of course, a retracement day. As you can see, we got that we got that whole move rejection and bearish divergence towards the upside, and we got the wick towards the downside. Usually, what happens in a correction is we get that push back up, and then we get the push back towards the downside once again. Is everything lost right now? I don't think anything is lost or anything like that. For the next 4-hour candle close, I'm looking at the following. Of course, we want to be retaking the EMA 21, which is quite important, and even it would be even better that we would be retaking the pivot line at 11,815. So the two areas that we would be looking at is the EMA 21 at 11,773. Let's see if we manage. That's only $20 from here. So if we manage to close above that, things would look a lot better by then. But even better would be to be closing, of course, above this 11,815. Theodore, where would I open a long position? If I would be opening a long position, I would be targeting actually the S1 line here, which is currently at 11,560, so around 11,600. Because usually what happens is, even if we touch that near that green line, we usually have a bounce towards the upside. So 11,600, I think around that area is fine for a long entry if I would not be in a position, right? So I would be targeting the EMA 55 there, because usually we always get a bounce from there, and of course afterwards, if the bounce, if we get the bounce towards the upside and we get rejected from there, we can exit our trade at a minimal loss, or just close your position a little bit higher, where you can still get a little bit of profit, of course, right? So that's where I would be trying to enter a long from there. And there's a couple of other reasons why, and I'll explain it to you in a few moments as well. So why do I think that there is probability that we are going to hit around the 11,600 area? Well, if we are looking at the CME chart, where's my CME chart? Here. If we are looking at the CME chart, we can see that we have been forming this channel basically since July on the CME chart. We have been beautifully going up and down here and ranging around that channel. And right now, as you can see, we are at the low end of that channel, and it's the S1 here is at 11,740, and right now there's around a $130 premium or something like that. So if we are comparing that with the spot price 11,740 minus 120, 130, it would make that around the 11,600, right? So is a possibility that we wick a little bit down as well. That's always possible, right? So that would be the reason why I would be targeting that area, right? Because we can clearly see we broken down of the pivot point here, and usually it touches the S1 and then get the momentum. It doesn't have to touch it, but usually it does touch the the bottom of the channel, and then it moves towards the upside. Right, so that's the reason why I do believe that that area of near the EMA 55 is quite substantial, and it doesn't mean that we will reach there, right? Because it's very possible that at the next 4-hour candle close, we immediately go back up into our pattern, right, that we are forming right now. But it doesn't look like it. And if we do break, if we do not close above the EMA 21, I would expect continuation towards the downside, to be honest. So we will find out more in the next 12 minutes when the candle closes. If the candle closes badly, most likely, like I said, continuation towards the downside, and then a bounce, and then yeah, we will see if we really bounce back up into our formation, or things can look pretty bad very soon. But I don't want to be that negative. Things still are looking quite nicely. Well, why do I think so? If we are looking at our RSI, we have been forming this this support line that has been holding. And other than that, if once again, it's a potential. If we are looking at the line right now, we would, if we go a little bit lower, we would still make a higher low on the price, and on the RSI, we would be most likely be creating a higher. A lower low on the RSI as well. So that would mean that we would be forming a hidden bullish divergence, right? So even if we, that's the reason, even if we would be going all the way down towards around this area, we would be forming most likely, once again, probability, most likely we would be forming a hidden bullish divergence. So that would give us at least a nice, at least a small push back up towards the upside, right? So, but other than that, yeah, the areas are the areas that we have been talking about. The triggers to be closing my long. There's 3 triggers, and you are all aware of that as well. And other than that, to be honest, I know a lot of people are now starting to be thinking a little bit bearish or anything like that. Well, I'll give you some happy thoughts, or some happy things to be thinking about if you are a little bit bearish. Well, one of the things that I've been talking about is the Dixie, right? I've told you guys that the Dixie is super important. Whenever the Dixie is rising, we should be very worried. Whenever the Dixie is going down, and as you can see, yesterday I told you about it. I told you most likely we would be getting rejected around the R1, and it would be making a move towards the downside. And the best case scenario would be what is happening right now, a close below the EMA 21, as you can see right now, and it continues to skydive towards the downside. So am I very bearish right now? No, because the Dixie is, for me, all telling, and the Dixie is showing me that there is more and more money, more money that is coming into the market. So the value of the dollar is going down, meaning the value, meaning there will be, it's going to be very positive for the investment markets, because the value is going down of whatever they are trading. So the Dixie is just diving towards the downside. So I expect the markets to be reacting and moving up very soon. But of course, I've remember when I've told you that Bitcoin is like an altcoin of the traditional markets. So whenever the traditional markets are moving up very quickly, Bitcoin is lagging and not really, and kind of slowly moving sideways. And when the traditional markets are moving sideways, then Bitcoin is actually rallying. If you remember what I've said, well, now you will understand what I'm trying to say. As in the short term, we can see the Dixie is going towards the downside. And what do we see in the S&P? Well, as you can see here, the S&P has been rallying, and as you can see right now, it is actually closing near this green box, which is the previous all-time high, as you can see right here, right? So the previous all-time high. So the all the money right now is in the S&P and in NASDAQ and so on. So that's the reason why, of course, Bitcoin is just lagging behind. But does that mean that Bitcoin is not going to be going towards the upside? I do believe so. It's just lagging behind. So we're just waiting for basically the traditional markets to be reaching a top, creating a top, and then it will, over the next couple of days, moving sideways. And when it does start grinding and holding sideways on the top levels, then most likely Bitcoin is going to be following, making that movement towards the upside as well, because then the money that has been made from the traditional markets is flowing back into the cryptocurrency market. So for the people that are bearish, for me, on like I said, that is what I'm looking at. So I am not really bearish at all. Is it possible? Is it possible that we are swiping back down once again towards the 11.6, 11.5 area, or this bottom here of this support Yes, sure. It's very very possible, but do I think that we are going to be breaking formation and completely break towards the downside? There's always a possibility. That's why we are trading the levels. But if I am just looking purely at the Dixie, the stock markets, the traditional markets, I don't think there is any reason at this moment, at least, to be very bearish about things. Are just still rallying towards the upside. It just goes into rotations, and right now the rotation is on the S&P, on the stock market. So all the money is just basically flowing into there. After that, they are gonna get bored with the stock market because the stock market is not moving that much anymore. They'll move it back into the cryptocurrency or into gold or into wherever in the other markets, and then most likely it will keep rallying in rotations, at least for now, as long, like I said, as long as the Dixie is not making a super rally towards the upside. Okay. Other than that, very similar on gold, as you can see right now. Very very nice very very big pullback on gold, and I've said it before. I think somebody asked me about gold. I said, yeah, I would wait out a little bit because gold is most likely going back into the support line of around the $2,000, and as you can see right now, we are basically there, and this is basically the zone that is currently acting as support. Most likely we will I do believe that we'll be hitting a little bit lower even. I would be targeting this CN line here at the EMA 100 for the as a target, basically, because like I said, everything is just moving into the stock market and so on and so on, right? So there's only so much money that that can be moving, and also like I said, people are going to take profits, right? So for the people that have bought gold and accumulated gold all from this area towards the downside, all the way here, from all the way here to all the way, I would say all the way here, right? They took profits from here, and that's the reason why the price just basically moves back down into the support area. And if this support area breaks, then of course it's the next support area around here, right? So profits have to be taken. That's what trading is all about. So that's the reason why I'm saying like you have to be, as a trader, you have to be moving with the ebb and flow of the market rather than just thinking like, yeah, we're just gonna keep going up, we're just gonna this is never gonna go down. Well, of course it will. Everything that goes up will catch a retracement, but like I said, with the formation and with everything, I am still overall not bearish at all for our cryptocurrency market, for our Bitcoin market. But yeah, if we start showing some bad signs, like I said, the key trigger would be, of course, closing below the EMA 21 on a daily basis. That would be that would be pretty bad for Bitcoin, like I said. But other than that, yeah, let's wait it out a little bit to see where we are going to be closing over the next 4 hours. If we close below the EMA 21, I do believe that we have another leg down towards around this area here, to be honest, and then most likely a bounce towards the upside, like I said. I don't know if that is going to be a big bounce or a small bounce. Like I said, it's all about risk management. But yeah, if one of those three key triggers hit, then I'm out of my long, and then we'll have to reanalyze and reanalyze things and reposition ourselves, right? That's basically what trading is all about. So although this everything is looking really good, you're never 100% sure. It's all about probabilities, right? Anything else that I wanted to show? Yeah, link. Maybe let's go over link because once again, link is exactly the same. We are retracing, although this can also be seen as some sort of like a huge bullish pennant, to be honest, something like this, right? So a bull flag pennant. So do I think that this is the end for link? Well, if I believe that Bitcoin is going to be making a run towards the upside, I think that link is going to be doing the same. But is it possible that it's going to be retracing a little bit lower towards the $12 or even towards the $11 and a half? possible. It's very possible. Right now, it's holding the EMA 21 on the 4-hour right now. If it would not be holding that one, yeah, I would be targeting the next one towards the downside immediately already. So let's see what Mr. Link wants to be doing. Would I, would I be, like I said, would I be shorting or anything like that? I would, like I said, I would rather be in these kind of markets. I would rather be taking long positions and just playing the trend towards the upside rather than the downside. But yeah, Link is also making retracements towards the downside. Nothing new or nothing special there. I think it was kind of expected as well after going all the way to close to $15, which is where we kind of expected it to hit and then make a retracement, right? Other than that, I wanted to show you guys also this Bitcoin dominance. So the Bitcoin dominance has been very, very low right now as well, right? But there's one thing that you have to be taking notice as well. So it starts to be looking that it wants to be forming some bullish divergence here. If we are looking here, oh sorry, we are making we're most probably trying to make some bullish divergence here. So what does that mean? It means that there is a possibility, maybe not now, maybe not immediately, that Bitcoin might be rallying towards the upside, and then the altcoins are going to be sold into Bitcoin, which could give that power towards to be breaking towards the upside as well. So all of this is showing a lot of confluence that there might be a big movement coming very, very, very soon. It could be towards the upside, it could be towards the downside, and because whenever price goes very low towards the downside very quickly, then of course people are going to be selling their altcoins into Bitcoin as well, because Bitcoin is going to be going down less fast than an altcoin. And other than that, when Bitcoin is rallying, of course all the altcoins are going to be wanting to put it into Bitcoin as well, because Bitcoin is moving up faster than the altcoin, right? So Bitcoin dominance is starting to show some bullish potential. It's not confirmed just yet. Potential bullish divergence towards the upside. So over the next, I would say over the next couple of days, over the next week, I would be very careful with altcoins. That's just my opinion or my thought. I think most of the altcoins are starting to be topping out, right? So be very, very careful with that. Now we got our just when we move on back into a channel, we can see that we closed below the EMA 21, and basically below the green box of of importance. Let's call it like that. So yeah, most likely I do believe that now it kind of confirms that most likely we'll be having a leg a little bit lower towards the downside. I would, like I said, I would be saying nearing the EMA 55, 11,500 and 72, somewhere around there is most likely our next targets, and then we will see a bounce, and then we'll figure it out from there what is going to be happening to Bitcoin. But like I said, I'm still overall bullish, not bearish at all, until I see the Dixie rallying and I see the traditional markets crashing. Then of course I'll be I'll be thinking very, very differently. But for now, my bias is still towards the upside rather than the downside. Let's take a look on the probabilities or the expected move charts. What can they tell us? So expected move charts are staying. First standard deviation toward the upside is 11,950, and first standard deviation towards the downside is 11,550, basically, right? So it would not break any structure if we go up or we go down in terms of that range. That's perfectly fine, and it is angled a tiny little bit more towards the downside. So like I said, it's very probable that we will be swiping towards the downside rather than the upside. But we will see a little bit further down. As you can see here, momentum on the 12-hour Stokes is curling towards the downside. Obviously not very good. Let's see on the 4-hour chart what the Stokes are saying. Stokes are also curling down towards the downside on the 4-hour, but we are kind of like forming some sort of like a resistance support line around there, right? So like I said, continuation, a little continuation to the downside, maybe, very possible. But yeah, I like I said, I still have a hard time seeing us break the whole pattern or the whole structure. Is it possible? Obviously, it's possible. But that's why we have our stop losses and we have our triggers to be closing our longs. It will be a sad thing to be closing longs and then starting to switch over into shorts, because it has been, well, at least for me, it has been a really fun time the last couple of weeks, just basically clicking long and not having a short button. But yeah, if like I said, I don't have any emotional attachment to the token or to Bitcoin or to anything. I'm just purely a trader. I just want to make money and buy diapers. That's the only thing that I care about. So if the zones, or if the green boxes start to break towards the downside, my long button won't work anymore, and it will be my short button that will be starting to be working, right? But overall, like I said, looking at the Dixie, looking at the stock market, I think this is just a small push towards the downside, and then we'll figure it out from there. So I'll update you guys tomorrow, because, well, yeah, let's see what happens, right? My expectations is a small swipe towards the downside, most likely somewhere around like I said, around the 11,600 ish area is very possible, but I still don't think that we will be breaking the pattern just yet. And then we'll figure it out by tomorrow, what the daily close is, and then continue from there, right? But yeah, let's hope that we keep closing above the 10 simple moving average, and then things will be fine eventually. And the next, as you can see, in the next couple of days, we will have our resolution, right? We'll have a resolution. We are very near our apex here, like I've explained, like I said before. Somewhere the 14th or the 15th of August is most likely the date that we will know that we will get our resolution, and for that we can see on our HVP, when our HVP is very, very low, right? When we are seeing right now, it's still at 40. When it comes to, like, single digits around 10, we kind of know what will that day is going to be, or the next couple of days, that day is going to be the important day. So I don't see any structure really breaking immediately. A small swipe towards the downside, small swipe towards the upside, sure, but I don't think the structure is going to be breaking. But yeah, I will start to turn pretty bearish, like I said, with the triggers that I have mentioned in this stream. So hope that was helpful for you guys, and wish you all the best and all the luck out there in this big bad world of traders. Anyways, wish you all the best on this Tuesday. I gotta go. It's time for some diapers to be changed. So hope to see you again tomorrow, same time, 7:30 p.m. UTC +8. Please like, share, comment, and do whatever you want with this channel.